Devin Leary has announced he is headed to Kentucky for the 2023 college football season. We're back at some more transfer portal news, and today we'll be talking about Devin Leary transferring to Kentucky. What this means for the Wildcats, as he is one of the top-rated quarterbacks in the transfer portal this offseason. And we'll also be talking about what happens for NC State here, the Wolfpack losing a key starter the past few seasons. So that said, let's get into it. Devin Leary, obviously one of the top-rated quarterbacks in the transfer portal. You got Sam Hartman, who's in front of him, but that's really about it. Devin Leary is an excellent quarterback, and that's why this is a pretty significant deal for Kentucky here, adding a quarterback who I think is a game changer for the Wildcats. He is an excellent quarterback. He was injured in the 2022 season, and that's the main reason why he really didn't have outstanding stats last season. But you look back to 2021, we saw the potential that he has. 3,400 yards, 35 touchdowns, over 5 picks, a 66% completion rate in 2021. Those are outstanding stats there for Devin Leary, and he's a quarterback that we have seen, once again, the potential in. But 2022 was a disappointing season, given all the injuries. I mean, NC State in general just dealt with a lot of injuries in the quarterback position last season, and that really impacted the ceiling of that team. But Devin Leary is still a quarterback despite the injuries. Keep an eye on him because he's got significant potential. I mean, even in 2022 when he did play, not terrible. 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, over 4 picks. I mean, you look back to 2019 and 2020, he was still on the rise. 2019 was a pretty poor season for him when he played. He was below 50% in completion, 8 touchdowns, over 5 picks. 2020 was slightly better, but not too much. And then 2021, once again, was kind of his breakthrough season, and we really saw the potential that he has. And that's, once again, a big reason why he is such a highly rated quarterback and why this is such a huge deal for Kentucky. And also, you consider Kentucky's losing Will Levis. He is headed to the NFL draft. And Kentucky's a team that, without Devin Leary coming in, or an excellent quarterback, you're looking at a pretty poor season potentially coming up here in 2023 for the Wildcats. Definitely a rebuild season, but I think Devin Leary coming in definitely helps this team at least get to, you could say, 7 or 8 wins. Maybe they can be a minor contender in the SEC. I don't see this team being a major contender in the conference, but having Devin Leary come in definitely helps this team to at least have a higher ceiling and have a higher chance for a great season. And Devin Leary has got experience, which is exactly what Kentucky needs, and he's proven that he can be a winner. So you look at Kentucky here, this is exactly what the Wildcats needed after Will Levis departing for the NFL. And I mean, you look at Kentucky's situation with Will Levis, he was also a quarterback that really was impressive and really improved over the course of his career. And Devin Leary, kind of a similar quarterback in that way. He's a quarterback that really has improved and has got just a tremendous ceiling heading into the 2023 season. But you look at NC State here. Devin Leary was a starter in 2022. He's been around since 2019. You look at MJ Morris and Ben Finley, the other quarterbacks in the NC State quarterback room. I mean, MJ Morris showed potential when he played, so I think NC State's going to be just fine at the quarterback position, even though they are going to be a bit inexperienced going into next season. So my expectations for NC State going into next season are probably going to be pretty low. I do think NC State's in a position where I think they can get to a bowl game, but I just don't know if I can expect much more than that, given that Devin Leary is leaving, and also this team is going to, in NC State, is going to be more inexperienced going into next season. But Ben Finley also in contention to start. We'll see what happens this spring and into the summer with the quarterback situation, but you can expect MJ Morris and Ben Finley to be battling for that starting position. But honestly, I mean, this isn't a Devin Leary is a great quarterback, but I'm honestly, with the young quarterback talent with NC State, I'm not terribly concerned. I do think both Morris and Finley have shown potential, and it's just a matter of time until we see that. And for Kentucky, I mean, once again, this is exactly what they needed. He's a pro-style quarterback, doesn't rush the ball at all, something to keep in mind. So his passing stats do hold a lot of weight. And in 2021, his passing stats were overall just outstanding, really impressive. Only 5 interceptions to 35 touchdowns and a 66% completion rate. I mean, he is an accurate quarterback, and when he's playing at his best, he is brutal to contain. So that's something to keep in mind. And I mean, as long as he's injury-free, I mean, this is one of the best quarterbacks in the country here in Devin Leary. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the nation in 2021. 2022 was a different story because of those injuries. But when he's at his best, and if he can recover from these injuries and return to his high level that we know he can play at, I mean, this is a huge pickup for Kentucky, and that's why I think this is Once again, this is a game changer for Kentucky going into next season. Otherwise, the Wildcats would be in a really tough situation offensively. And honestly, without Devin Leary, I think this team, unless they pick up a major recruit or two, would be a below 500 team going into next season. But I think Devin Leary coming in does raise this team's ceiling for sure. I think the ceiling for Kentucky, I haven't really looked fully in depth into this team yet, and we'll do that in our schedule previews and predictions over the course of the next few months. But I do think Devin Leary brings potential to Kentucky, and this team potentially could get 8-9 wins next season, given this talent, and if Devin Leary can stay healthy. But that said, that's going to wrap it up for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this move, as it is one of the more significant ones of this offseason so far, and I appreciate you guys watching as always. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. Catch you on the next one.